Hello friends, it's Terry with Terry's Mailbox, and today I'm presenting for the Funky Junkie using Tim Holtz's floral trim stamps and other stencils. So here's a compilation of all the cards that I've made using different backgrounds with stencils, some not with stencils, some watercolor lifting. So again, I'm going to go through the backgrounds. I started by using sprays. Those two were stenciled. This is just spray. Again, just making a boatload of backgrounds using ink sprays inspired by a recent Tim Holtz video. There's the palette collage paper that I put on a piece of cardstock. So I'm using the Floral Trims stamp set. This is a new one from Stampers Anonymous. I just love this thing. So again, I'm playing here with how to get it arranged in my, my stamping platform. And so I'm going to kind of work to get it organized here. I'm using a piece of sticky grid to hold it, and then we'll go ahead and add the stamp set there in the middle. And then I pulled out my archival ink. So again, I always tend to go to the black archival ink if I'm going to be playing with it. Some of them I did end up just embossing as well. So it just kind of depends. I think this one is actually an embossed one. But again, I used black ink, both archival ink and black pigment ink with clear embossing powder on some of them. So again, here's one where I'm embossing. And so here's another inked background. Again, just, really trying, going to be trying some different techniques on here. So like I say, after I had the sprayed backgrounds, I went ahead and stamped a whole bunch of them. So again, the purple tape in there is to just help me know where I want to place the back panel. There were some of them where I ended up using distress paint, actually, some of the newer distress paint colors. And once you, once you paint them, you've got to be able to stamp over the top again. So again, that's kind of why I'm using the purple tape there on my stamp platform. So again, just, again, stamping away here. Just, I ended up making about 9 cards, I think, something like that. I had more than that backgrounds. That one there is actually a stencil. It's kind of, it's 143 flowers. And what I ended up doing was doing a couple of ink prints. So here's one where I'm going to go ahead and do the water lifting on this one. I love this rainbow background. I think it's so pretty. So again, I'm just using a water brush, and I'm just applying water and then soaking it up with a paper towel. I mean, it's amazing how easy this technique is. And in the end, I loved the final look of this one. So again, just kind of taking off the distress ink spray. So I did this with one other one too, I think a pink one, where I ended up removing the ink. So again, just fun. Just what an easy technique. And again, it's, because the distressed products are, water, affected by water, it makes it too much easy. This one here, I used Kitsch Flamingo, a re-inker, just kind of laid a drop on my brand new craft mat from Tim Holtz that I love. And so I'm going ahead and just coloring in the stenciled flower in the same color. And again, I left the leaves just kind of blank. Just went for coloring in the petals of the flower using the re-inker. So I used re-inker on several of them. Actually, the 2 cards there to the top right, I also used re-inkers in different colors on. So again, it's just kind of a fun technique. And so here's this one that has multiple colors, and actually the background is, I use the Tim Holtz Stencil 167 and did also just the sprays, and then did the printing. And so this is like probably 3rd print that I did. And you can see there I've got different colors of re-inker. I've got Twisted Citron right now, Picked Raspberry, Mustard Seed, Squeezed Lemonade, salty ocean. So again, I was kind of trying to go for a rainbow look here. And so again, just kind of coloring in using that water brush. I mean, it is so easy to do. And because of the amount of water I had on this one, some of it did kind of seep out outside the flowers, but I thought it was okay. It just gave it a messy watercolor look. So again, I'm just kind of finishing up here. Just kind of adding the color. I really enjoy playing with the sprays and the Distress ink. It's my favorite. It's the one that I have over my desk and readily accessible at any time. So I do use Distress ink quite a bit. So again, I needed to add another little drop there. So again, finish that. Now I'm moving on to the distressed paints. So again, I've archivally inked, stamped on top of that palette collage, and have attached that to a A2 card panel. And so now I'm using my the Distress ink, not ink, excuse me, the Distress paints to paint this in. So again, this is just a small drop of the paint there on my craft mat, and I'll just kind of keep moving down the rainbow. So I've got picked raspberry, mustard seed, ripe persimmon, and tumbled glass are the colors that I'm using right now. And then I'll pull out olive later for the leaves. But you can see you put a little drop on your craft mat and just color away. So here we'll put the blue. And then again, you don't want to add too much water because again, you want to make sure that you've got enough pigment in there to make the blooms and the leaves stand out. But again, you are basically covering the stamped image with paint. And so this is why I've marked my stamp platform so that I can actually put this back in the same place and stamp on top of it again. So you can see here I pulled out the olive paint, and we're just kind of adding in the leaves, and you'll see that it'll kind of look like a hot mess in the end. It's just really, it'll be a hot mess, but that's okay because again, once you stamp over it one more time, it absolutely clears up and darkens the lines and adds all the details that you'd want on your flowers. So again, I love this palette collage paper. I just, that one I fell for when I saw it. I just thought it was gorgeous and love the rainbow colors and, just really, really enjoy it. So again, I'm just kind of finishing up here. Get all of my leaves painted. And you can see I'm kind of touching the paper towels so that I don't have too much water coming out. Again, when you're dealing with a water brush, it lets water out, so you need to make sure that you're not getting your paints too thin. So again, we'll kind of wipe off my mess there. I'm trying to keep this beautiful white mat nice and white. So I'm going to go ahead and heat dry it to be sure that it is totally dry. I just think that helps. It's an extra step, but yeah, it's just kind of insurance to make sure that it is dry. So next thing I'm going to do, there's my stamping platform, and you'll notice the stamp did not move. So again, I'm just getting that lined up there. Forgot the sticky grid, so I put that back in there so that it'll hold it so that, again, I can't have it move. So again, we're going to go ahead and pull out the black soot archival ink up the stamp again, and then we'll go ahead and stamp that image. Look at how that just makes it pop. It just absolutely makes the images pop. Love that technique. So here we'll just kind of go through. This is a stenciled background with that flower stencil. This is the one that I just finished here with the palette. This one started with the Stencil 167, which is kind of the circle type of things. And so again, colored in with Distress ink. Here's another one. There's that stencil. That's first generation. The one on the right is probably third generation, I want to say. Here's one where it's just, ink sprayed, and then I went ahead and used the watercolor brush to remove the color, as in this one. And then this here is the flower stencil, and you can see here that, one is darker than the other. So one was like the first print, and the lighter one, was the second print. So here's how I finished them. This is, again, attached on black cardstock. The Hello Friend is from one of Tim's dies. Same thing with the word wonderful. Cut it with black cardstock. Here's hello from, again, one of the sentiments. This is from the new note quotes. Hello friends, cut in a circle with a ribbon and added a couple of cute little buttons. So again, same note quotes on that one. So easy to finish when you just attach them to the base and just add some sort of a sentiment on there. It's just so easy. Look at how that one pops with the black background. I thought that one was really pretty. And this one is my favorite. I love the rainbow colors, and the believe is one of my favorite words. So here's all the cards that I made, again, using the ink sprays, etc. It's Terry with Terry's Mailbox. Come subscribe to my channel.